So we're now into day 2 after my microdiscectomy, and I've got quite a bit to update you on. Last night was probably the first night where I started to wonder what the recovery was actually going to be like. I had a couple of zaps through my foot overnight, but that was after I had done a lot of movement or went for a little bit of a walk. They weren't anywhere near the level of pain I was experiencing before surgery, but because I've been dealing with these nerve symptoms for so long, every little zap gets your attention. And honestly, it created a little bit of anxiety when I was trying to get to sleep, especially knowing that some of my medication had been reduced. I think part of you starts wondering, is this normal? Is this something going wrong? Is the pain coming back? But I just reminded myself that I'm only a couple of days out from surgery and the nerve has been irritated for a long time. So I try to relax and let my body just do what it needed to do. With sleep, surprisingly, I had the best night's sleep I've had in months. I had 2 separate 4-hour blocks of sleep. Now that might not sound like a lot to some people, but for me that's huge. For months I've been waking up constantly because of the pain and nerve symptoms. So getting 2 4-hour blocks in one night is probably one of the biggest positives I've had since this whole thing started. I woke up feeling noticeably more refreshed. And then this morning I was woken up to Dr. Lee's morning check. He came in to check on me, did a couple of checks on my legs and toes, and there were actually some positive signs of strength coming back into my toes and to my foot. Now that's something I'm really happy about because the weakness and numbness have been a big concern for me throughout this whole process. Obviously I'm not going to claim that everything is fixed, it's way too early for that, but seeing some positive signs this early is really encouraging to me. And also no zaps so far this morning, so that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm happy about. Haven't had a zap, had a few overnight, but since waking up this morning, nothing. Again, I'm trying not to read too much into one morning, but when you've spent months feeling those sensations, even a few hours without one feels pretty significant. The physio has been really happy with my movement. She's checked out how I'm getting around, getting in and out of bed and generally moving, and she's happy with how I'm doing. She's also given me some exercise to do once I'm home for the first couple of weeks, and that's really going to be really important for me. I think yesterday I probably got a little bit too excited about feeling good and did more than I needed to. So now the focus is going to be on following the instructions, doing the exercises I'm supposed to do, and most important, not trying to rush this. There was one other thing the hospital was keeping an eye on. I hadn't opened my bowels yet. Apparently that's a pretty common side effect after surgery. Because of the combination of the medication, reduced movements and everything else your body is dealing with, well, let me tell you, I can happily report that particular box has now been ticked. So that's another thing I don't have to worry about. It looks like I'll be staying overnight, but I'll be heading home hopefully tomorrow, and I think I'm overdue for that. This is the first time since the surgery that I'm going to be probably out of the hospital environment and starting on to the next stage of recovery. I'm really looking forward to getting home, but I'm also going to be very conscious that just because I'm feeling good doesn't mean I'm recovered. The next few days are going to be about resting, walking when I'm supposed to, doing my exercises, and following the advice I've been given. No heroics. Now, my final thoughts. So overall, this morning I'm feeling really positive. I've had some zaps, but they're much less intense than what I was experiencing before surgery. I've had the best sleep I've had in months. There are early signs of strength returning to my toes. The physio is happy with my movement, and I've had absolutely no regrets about having the surgery. It's still incredibly early, and I know there could be some good days and bad days. It's going to be a roller coaster, but right now I'm feeling refreshed and I'm really optimistic about what's ahead. The next video is going to be the big one for me, recovery at home. That's where we'll find out how the next stage goes. So surgery done, hospital stay nearly done. Now it's time to go home and start recovering properly. See you then.